Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Hearthstone. It's been a long time since I've done a beginner's guide to Hearthstone, so let's do that today, shall we? Today, we will be playing our beginner Warlock deck, so let us take a look at the deck list. By the way, if you're uninterested in the deck list and want to jump straight to the matches, you may refer to the top right hand corner of your screen. This will tell you the time to skip ahead. Now, I'll go through the cards I put in this Warlock deck. Alright, so I find Warlock as a really good class for beginner players. Why? Is because of your hero power. Your hero power deals 2 damage to yourself but draws you a card. This allows you to put in cards that have better tags or better stats instead of, let's say, a Gnomish Inventor, 4 mana 2/4 draw a card. So for example, a hunter has to put in a Gnomish Inventor instead of something, let's say, a Yeti, a 4 mana 4/5. He has to forego the 4 mana 4/5 in order to preserve steam in the late game. However, as a Warlock, you do not need to do so because your hero power innately allows you to draw a card. Therefore, you're able to put in so-called better quality minions, and this makes Warlock one of the better classes to start out with. So let's go through the cards individually. Alright, so Dynamo and Voidwalker actually bundle them together and talk about it together. So these 3 cards actually allows you to fight for the board really well in the early game. 1 mana 1/3s are really good because it can trade into a 1 health minion, for example, and still live. Voidwalker has the additional benefit of having Taunt, so I mean it's really good, right? 1 mana 1/3 Taunt is one of Warlock's best early game minions. Next is Acidic Swarm Ooze. So Acidic Swarm Ooze is a 2 mana 3/2. Usually when you say something is a 2 mana, you usually react it as a 3/2 minion or a 2/3 minion. However, this is a 3/2 minion with a really good text. So if the opponent has a weapon, you're able to destroy it with Acidic Swarm Ooze. In fact, it's meaning run in many decks as of now. Next card is Plated Beetle and River Crocodile. I'll also go through these 2 cards together. So Plated Beetle is actually a power creep of the River Crocodile because it allows you to gain 3 armor when it dies. Other than that, all the stats, all the mana is the same, even has the same beast tag. So I mean Plated Beetle, it gains you 3 armor. As a Warlock, you're gonna be tapping a lot, you're gonna be damaging yourself a lot. So 3 armor actually helps you to survive, I would say. Why do I put in only 1 copy of Plated Beetle and 2 copies of River Crocodile? Because I only have 1 Plated Beetle in my collection, since this is a starting account. Next is Vulgar Homunculus, 2 mana 2/4 Taunt. Battlecry, deal 2 damage to a hero. So 2 mana 2/4 is obviously insane. That's why this card punishes us with dealing 2 damage to ourselves. So a 2 damage is usually not that significant in the early game, but a 2 mana 2/4 is a really significant minion in the early game. It allows you to trade and has something like a 2 health left over or 1 health left over in the early game. It can even trade into other 2 drops, like let's say a 3/2. So Vulgar Homunculus is really good. And plus the 2 damage to a hero isn't actually 2 damage, I would say. It's because this minion has Taunt, so the extra point of health that goes into this minion actually helps you so-called block an additional point of damage. So this card is really good. Next is Acolyte Pain. So Acolyte Pain, although I said before, as a Warlock you're gonna be tapping a lot, you're gonna have a lot of hand size. But why do you put in extra card draw in the form of Acolyte Pain? It's because as a beginner you're gonna be playing against other beginners. So other beginners would usually not know what they're doing and trade multiple minions into this Acolyte Pain, allowing you to draw, let's say, up to 2 to 3 cards. Sometimes 1, sometimes 2, and sometimes even 3 cards. So I mean, as a Warlock, you're not complaining if your hand size is big, since you have more options to play, and more options is always better. Next card is Dustbat. So Dustbat actually allows you to it's a really good minion if you activate the Battle Cry. So there are a lot of ways to activate this Battle Cry. The first way is Vulgar Homunculus. Second way is obviously your hero power. The third way, which I haven't gone through yet, is your Hellfire. So it allows you to play essentially a 3 mana 4/6. It's a really good minion. 3 mana, usually you're looking something like a 2/5, that's a Carrion Grub. However, this time you're getting a 4/6. Yeah, think about that. And I happen to have 2 copies, which is really good. Next is Shadowbolt. Shadowbolt, it's a removal tool. 3 mana deal 4 damage is okay, but I mean this deck doesn't have any other removal tools. And Shadowbolt is in the basic set. That's why we use Shadowbolt. Next is Chewin Yeti. It's a vanilla minion, 4 mana 4/5, really good. Can trade into other minions and survive. That's good enough. Next is Grim Necromancer. Grim Necromancer, if you add the total stat line together, it's a 4 mana 4/6. So it sounds familiar, right? It sounds something like a dust bat. So I would say it's slightly better than Chewin Yeti, in the sense that it summons, number one, it summons 3 minions instead of 1 minion, 1 gigantic minion. So as a Warlock, you're gonna benefit from summoning multiple minions. Later I'll go through. It's in the form of Frostwolf Warlock. So you're gonna benefit from summoning multiple minions. And this minion, its total stat line is actually better than Yeti's. However, I only have 1 copy of it, so yep. However, this card does have a downside of being susceptible to AoE damage. But it's fine. I think as a Warlock, you can recover quickly because of your hero power. Next is Hellfire. Hellfire deals 3 to all characters. It's a really good board clear. It's even being run now. And it also procs our Dust Bat, which is nice. Next is Hood Reaver. This deck actually contains a lot of self-damaging mechanism, like as for Hellfire, hero power, as well as your Vulgar Homunculus. So if you have 15 health or less, this essentially becomes your Shaman card, 4 mana 7/7, an insane card when it was printed. And it has the additional upside of not having Overload, as well as having Taunt. So it's a really good demon. It's a shame that we only have 1 copy of it. Next is Spellbreaker. Spellbreaker silences a lot of things, and like I think I said before in one of my previous videos, but the 1 additional cost is justified. So usually when you're looking at 4/3 minion, you're looking at a 3 cost, but I think the 1 mana for the Battle Cry is justified. For example, let's say the enemy plays the next card, Twilight Drake, and let's say summons a 4/9 or 4/10. When you play Spellbreaker on a Twilight Drake, you reduce it to a 4/1. You can look at it as something like a Hunter's Mark. You can look at it something like a reduce 9 health or 8 health from this minion. So it definitely justifies this 1 mana extra cost. Twilight Drake, this is a Warlock deck, so you're gonna have a big hand size, especially so when you have card drawing mechanisms such as Acolyte. So Twilight Drake benefits from you having many cards, which is why I put 1 copy of it in this deck. Next card is a 5 mana 8/8, so this is obviously really insane value, right? The only downside is that it deals damage to a hero. Oh wait, this is also one of the self-damaging mechanisms. But although it's a 5 mana 8/8, it's insane. However, it does have the drawback of dealing 3 damage to a hero every time this is damaged. However, I feel that this so-called risk is worth it. Number 1, you can proc something like a Dust Bat. Number 2, you can proc something like a Hood Reaver. Number 3, 5 mana 8/8 is just insane, and it totally justifies the downside of this card. The next card is Frostwolf Warlock. So as a Warlock, this is sort of a Zoolock deck. You're going to be summoning a lot of minions. So Frostwolf Warlock, as long as you have 2 minions on the board, it already justifies its value, 5 mana 6/6. 5 mana 5/6 is a... Okay, actually there's no card which is 5 mana 5/6. But a 6 mana 6/7 is being printed, Boulderfist Ogre. So I would say that a 5 mana 6/6 is a pretty good value card. Next is Silverhand Knight. This card is really a 5 mana 6/6 if you combine the stats together. And it is not as inflexible as Frostwolf Warlock to play. However, Frostwolf Warlock, the variance that you're getting is much higher. You can even play something like a 5 mana 10/10 if you have 6 other minions on the board. Oh wait, 5 mana 8/8 if you have 6 minions. Oh wait, it's a 5 mana 10/10 if you have 6 other minions on the board. However, with Silverhand Knight, you're always getting a 5 mana 6/6, but that's fine. In fact, Silverhand Knight can synergize well with Warlock. You can play the Silverhand Knight, get 2 minions on the board. After that, you play your Frostwolf Warlock, and your Warlock becomes a 6/6. Next is Hogger. So Hogger, if not dealt with directly, it actually wins you games if it's not dealt with directly. It's because by summoning 2/2 Gnolls, the value really adds up. As long as Hogger manages to live for 1 turn, you're getting 6 mana 8/8, which is justifiable. I mean, Hogger is not run in many so-called competitive decks because it's too slow. But in this beginner deck, we'll just add it in because Hogger is simply, as long as you can get it to live for 1 turn, it's a really good card. Next is Sunwalker, 6 mana, 4/5 Taunt Divine Shield. So the Divine Shield is actually really powerful. Why? Because it allows you to trade into a minion and not get this minion damage. So you can look at it as something like a 6 mana, 4/5 deal 4 damage, something like that. Of course, it's susceptible to something like Mage's Hero Power, but I think it's a fine card. Last of all is Stormwind Champion. I actually hesitated when I added this card in, but I thought that this mana curve is actually quite aggressive, so we're gonna be playing many small minions. And Stormwind Champion works well with small minions, right? Many small minions, which is why I added one copy of it in. So this is the deck list that we've built, and I hope this deck works well, and let's take it into Constructed to test it out. Alright, so without further ado, let's start off with our first match. So we're gonna be playing ranked. Why? Because, well, I mean, there's no harm in playing ranked. We can't lose stars at this rank.
Gul'dan versus Thrall.
Alright, we're against a Shaman.
Your soul shall be mine.
Over here we'll throw away Shadowbolt and Frostwolf. I think we can coin out the Crocalist. Yeah, it's a pretty good play, assuming that we draw another 2-drop. But the problem is we don't. However, turn 2 tap is actually quite okay, I think. Alright, so we do get a turn 1 play in the form of a Dynamo. We'll just do that. So we'll end our turn. Totemic Call. Alright, so it's a bit unfortunate that he played the 0-2. So we're actually gonna play. Actually, it really doesn't matter which one you play, right? Plated Beetle or Crocalist. I mean, perhaps in some very fringe scenarios it matters, but in this case it really doesn't matter. Alright, so in this case we'll be playing our Acolyte. We do not want to play our Dustbat as of yet, because we want it to so-called activate the Battle Cry, because its Battle Cry is what makes Dustbat insane. However, in an emergency scenario, Dustbat, when played by itself, is a okay card. But the thing is, we don't want to play okay cards, we want to play insane cards. Alright, so this is where Acolyte Pain shines. So I'll just trade this in. Alright, so we have a total of 7 cards now. If we were to play this, it becomes a 4/7. Is it good enough? I think it's good enough. Yeah, a 4/7 on turn 4 is actually really powerful. Alright, so as you can see here, this is another form of silence that is not Spellbreaker. And as you can see here, this is what I predicted in one of my what's that called? I actually predicted this scenario in my when I talked about Spellbreaker just now. Over here, right, I feel that we should not overextend in case he has some form of a board clear. So instead of, let's say, playing Silverhand Knight, we'll just tap and play Dustbat. So I think he might have a board clear, something like that. Alright, Totemic Call. So yes, he does have a board clear. So it's a good thing we didn't play our bigger minion, Silverhand Knight. Oh wow, we actually destroyed everything, which is unfortunate. However, we do have a lot of cards in our hand, so we are able to regain steam relatively quickly.
Ready, sir.
Alright, let's end our turn. Hot Spring Guardian. Restores 3 health and has taunt. So Spellbreaker, I mean, we're not gonna waste our Spellbreaker on any one of these minions. We're just gonna maybe play something like a... Okay, so if you are met with a situation where there's no obvious, very clear-cut thing to play over here, I think the best thing to do is to tap. Yep. I mean, okay, I want to play on turn 8. I want to play Coin, Necromancer, Frostwolf. So that's our turn 8 play. I don't actually want to play Frostwolf right now.
To battle!
Alright, so let's just clear this first. I think a spell damage is more scary. And we'll play a Acolyte. Yep.
Let the pain speak to me.
Yep, seems like a pretty good turn. Alright, so we do get a Lich King. I mean, he got a Lich King. So we have the option of clearing it immediately, which we are gonna do it now. Although playing Spellbreaker to remove its effect, it's also pretty viable. However, we do not want an 8/8 taunt on the board, so let's just remove it.
The dark path is my destiny.
So let's just hit his face. Alright, he has a Fire Elemental. Draws us a card. And has that. Alright, so over here we're gonna be playing our huge minion, our Frostwolf Warlock. Yep.
Why do you call?
So we actually have, we actually make this a 10/10.
The frost wolves stand ready.
Is it good enough to silence the 3/5? I think it is. Maybe we should play a Spellbreaker instead of a Void Walker here. It's fine though. Let's just silence the 3/4.
Your magic shall not save
Alright, so we're gonna trade a couple minions into
For
this.
the master.
Your magic shall
Alright,
not
Spellbreaker. So as you can see, Spellbreaker is actually a really good card. He actually silenced 2 of our things as of now. This thing actually, the Spellbreaker actually reduced it from a 10/10 to a 4/4. Alright, Volcano. So clears the board. Leaves us with a 1/2. Leaves him with a 1/1. Alright, so over here, I think we will tap. There is no clear cut thing that we are gonna do right now. Alright, so Hogger, I think Hogger is the right play over here. It's gonna be difficult for him to deal with Hogger, I feel. And I'll play a Crocodile to support the Hogger. Alright, Fire Elemental. Clears our Crocodile. I think in this case, Hellfire isn't actually that bad of a move. So I trade this in and I Hellfire everything. Yep, I think it's a decent move. Although Hogger is left at 1 health, but I think that at the very least it's gonna be annoying for him to deal with. And I'll play a Bittertide Hydra as well, since we have a taunt, so that this thing does not get damaged. Hopefully it doesn't have another Volcano. Oh wow, Alexstrasza. Alright, so he just reduced our health to 15. That's pretty scary. We'll just kill off Alexstrasza. Oh no, we missed lethal. Oh, we missed lethal. It's fine, it's fine. It's fine if we miss lethal. We got a 7/7, we're fine. Oh man, I can't believe I missed lethal. This is how you should not play Beginner's Guide to Hearthstone. Ah yes, don't overextend. It's a good thing he didn't steal the 7/7. Oh wow. Keleseth. Alright, at least we still won. At the very least we still won. So, never punish. Code Trump. Hey, we still get a Stormwind champion. He actually has 3 really powerful legendaries in his deck. Keleseth, Lich King, and what's the last one? Alexstrasza. Keleseth, Lich King, Alexstrasza. As you can see, you don't need powerful legendaries to win. All you need is Hogger. Alright, so we drew 19 out of 25 cards. Oh, by the way, Taverns of Time is here, so yep.
Gul'dan versus Rexxar.
Alright, so we're against a Hunter. So against a Hunter, we actually have to watch out because of his Hunters tend to be more aggressive. So we want to keep lower drops in our hand. We throw away Hogger over there. Although, yep, actually you throw away Hogger in every scenario.
None will
Oh wow, this is actually pretty bad for us. It's a aggressive Hunter, so it's pretty bad for us. By the way, if you don't know what this card does, as long as your deck is all odd cards, what you do is that his hero power is now deal 3 instead of deal 2. So you can, on theory, end the game within 10 turns. In theory. Alright, so his hero power is gonna hurt a lot. However, it helps us play the Hook Reaver faster, I guess. So that's a good thing, I guess. Oh wow, we maybe should have saved the ooze for the Eagle Hornbow instead. Alright, it's fine though. There was no way we could have predicted that. Actually, we'll use our second ooze over here. I don't think he'll put in another weapon in his deck. Okay, maybe he has a second Eagle Hornbow. Yeah, come to think of it, he probably has a second Eagle Hornbow. Alright, coin. Okay, that's a very interesting include in his deck. I have no idea why he put a okay, if you don't know, this card is supposed to be an anti-aggro card, but I have no idea why he put it in. Let's just silence it. So we're gonna challenge him to a let's see who can aggro the other party down. Yeah, I have really no idea why he put this card in. Alright, Candle Shot. Okay, he does have another weapon. Nisha. Okay. Right, so in this case, I think we'll play the Silverhand Knight. Oh, Silverhand Squad. No, actually that's a bad play. Because the Rotten Applebum can trade directly into the 4/4. So as you can see here, we're not gonna play the Silverhand Knight. Why? Because his 4/1 can trade favorably into our 4/4, which is not what we want. So we'll play something that he can't really reach. Maybe we'll play a Bitter Tide. But the problem is with Bitter Tide is that he can just ping it and will take 3 damage. I think it's still fine though. It's probably still okay. We still have the 3 armor. Ooh, Faceless Manipulator. And Hunter's Mark. This is gonna be really bad. Alright, so he has an 8/8 on the board and a 4/1. That's gonna be a problem. Is Hellfire justified over here? I think it is. We'll clear the 4/1, which is really annoying at this point. Yep. Let's clear that off. And let's play an Acolyte. Hopefully he doesn't have something like a kill command, because they'll end us immediately. Alright, so he kill commands our face probably. Okay, he misplayed. Oh wait, does he have a second kill command? Yep. So did we lose? Huh. Okay, we didn't lose. He saw a misplayed. We're gonna play our Hook Reaver. Wait, let me think about this. Yes, we're gonna play our Hook Reaver. And then we're gonna do this. Wait, actually we lost, I think. Did we? Yeah, we probably lost. That's fine though. So the way for him to win is to hit this and hit. and then we'll lose. Ooh, that's a fancy finish. It's fine, you don't win every game. But we tried the best that we could. Alright, we got a couple of quests done, pretty good stuff. Alright, I actually went back and looked at the previous recording of the previous 2 matches, and it was really choppy. Like I set my, what I did is that I set my video quality to the best for my comp, 1080p, but I'm pretty sure that's what resulted in that's what resulted in the choppy video. So I actually downed the quality by quite a bit. So hopefully this recording section doesn't repeat itself. I mean, repeat the choppiness. But overall, it's still not that bad. I think it's still watchable at the very least. I mean, I've been posting watchable only videos for quite a while. So I don't know, maybe I'll link it in the top right hand corner. I recently learned how to do that though, the description thing. So I mean, if you click the eye on the top right hand corner, you actually see my other videos. Maybe I'll link some over there. So against a mage, and I forgot to talk about the match itself. But never mind, it's our turn. We're gonna play the coin and play third beetle. Alright, primordial glyph. So I'm assuming that this is a legit mage. So I mean, okay, as a beginner, you're looking to maximize your wins, but usually that is pretty difficult, right? How you're looking to earn money in the game is by completing quests, mainly quests. So I'd say that build your decks towards your quest. So for example, if let's say your quest asks you to, let's say, play beast, so maybe you want to play something like a hunter in order to complete the quest.
We have many secrets.
So this is a really I would say legit mage. This is a secret mage. So yep, we're probably not gonna win. Maybe we should have kept the acidic swamp ooze back. In this case, we're gonna trade this into this first. After, we should play Void Walker to test our secret. Alright, it's explosive runes. So for those beginners out there, what is a secret? A secret is a spell that when you play, it does nothing immediately. However, when your opponent fulfills a certain condition on their turn, something actually happens. So if for example in this case, the secret was explosive runes. If I were to play a minion, the mage will actually deal 6 damage to a minion. Any excess will be dealt to my hero. Alright, so she killed my thingy. What was that thing? River Crocodile. And attempts to fire blast my face. I don't think secret mage. The good thing about being matched up against a secret mage is that they have very few what's it called, AoE clears. So something like a Grim Necromancer would survive. However, let's say a Yeti may just be fireball. However, a Grim Necromancer fireball it fine. You're still left with 2/2s. Oh wow. So I guess this deck is not that legit. It still has a couple of weird cards inside, such as Vexcrow. However, Vexcrow is a pretty good mage card. Over here I'm gonna tap first. Yeah, I'm gonna tap first. So Hellfire is a pretty good board clear. Let's attempt to kill this minion. So okay, so I end up killing it. In this case, is it better to trade the beetle in or the yeti in? I think it's better to trade the yeti in, since 2 minions left on the board is better than just 1. And plus, like I said before, secret mages really have very few board clears. Alright, so we really should have preserved the what's that called, the acidic swamp ooze. In fact, I may try to aggressively tap for it. In this case, I'm gonna play Grim Necromancer. Alright, Mirror Entity, fine, whatever. However, the mage is actually gonna gain a lot of steam from the Aluneth.
We have many
Kirintor
secrets.
into a free secret, I presume. Alright, that's our free secret there. And mirror image. Kills off our Yeti, that's fine. Place another secret. And draws a couple of cards. So in this case, let's play a Void Walker test out secret.
Why do you fall?
Alright, so it's another explosive runes, that's fine. We'll play a Frostwolf Warlock.
The frost wolves stand ready.
So it's a 8/8, it's a pretty decent minion. And we'll just hit this into the enemy's face. I'm assuming the last secret to be something like a counter spell, it might be. So we're gonna watch out for that, because it can counter a Hellfire. Primordial Glyph, maybe discover something like a Fireball. Vex Crow. Cone of Cold, so it actually freezes up this 8/8. Alright, and hits us in the face.
More. I must have more.
Huh, okay. So in this case, we're gonna try and tap for a spell. Okay, we do get Dust Bat, which is pretty nice. However, let's see. She has a 7/9 damage on the board. We're gonna clear the Vex Crow, I think.
For the master.
Clear the Vex Crow, play a Sunwalker. I think that's pretty decent.
For the master.
Truth is my shield.
So yep. We still have an 8/7, so that's fine. The last secret might be an Ice Block or a counter spell. Hopefully it's not an Ice Block. Because if it's an Ice Block, our 8/7 is gonna take us 2 turns to kill the mage. Arcane Explosion. Okay. Mana Worm. And Fireball. So at least the mage used a Fireball on our Sunwalker. I would have killed off the Warlock though. Huh, in this case I think we have to test the Hellfire or the counter spell. If not, we just I think we straight up lost if it's if it happens to be, what's it called? If it happens to be counter spell. Alright, so let's just try Hellfire. Yep, it is counter spell. So we lost, I think. Let's see, hit this, hit this, hit this. Yep, we lost. But it's fine.
You win this time.
Like I said, with a beginner's deck against this sort of a tier 1 deck. This tier 1, by the way, okay, I guess it's something like a tier 2 since she doesn't have the complete collection of Secret Mage. But she does have Aluneth. Maybe if we held back the Aztec Swarm Ooze, we could have won, but it was hard to predict that it was a Secret Mage. Plus it's at rank 24, so I thought it was some beginner deck.
Gul'dan versus Valera.
Watch your back.
Your soul shall be mine.
Okay, so in this case a rogue. Rogues also tend to be quite aggressive, such as like Hunter, so we'll keep a hand of low cost cards.
You shall not pass.
Alright, it's a Shield Bearer. Shield Bearer, okay. I have no idea what this rogue is doing. But Shield Bearer, yes, it's a 1 mana 0/4, so technically it's up on the stat line to mana ratio. However, Shield Bearer, what it does is essentially a 1 mana heal 4, which is pretty bad. I'm actually kind of surprised that the rogue didn't weapon up, but it's fine. So we're gonna take our time getting past the Shield Bearer, it's fine. We won't waste our Shadow Bolt on it. Shadow Bolt is used for much higher priority targets. so we'll just save it for later. Alright, Pickpocket. By the way, if you are looking to play Pickpocket, or rather any echo cards, try not to play one of them. You try to play at least 2 or 3 times to so-called get the value out of Pickpocket. Playing one is basically 2 mana, add a random card to your hand, which in Hearthstone is a pretty bad deal. Over here we're just gonna clear the shield barrier and maybe tap. Yep, good enough. So next turn is probably gonna be the Twilight Drake. We're gonna have 8 cards next turn. So the Twilight Drake is gonna be a massive 4/8 for us. Ogre Magi. Looks like some form of a... It's either a starter deck or some form of spell damage deck. So you know what? I think we're gonna use Shadow Bolt next turn on the Ogre Magi. You know, preserve our... Actually no, I think the Twilight Drake is the correct play. Yeah, we basically get a huge minion on the board. That's pretty good. After which we'll press the advantage by playing Bittertide Hydra. Hit Crack. Whoa! I did not expect this card to come out. Deal 3, that's very interesting. Alright, Abyss. Probably gonna trade the Ogre Magi in. Yep. So if you don't know, Hit Crack is basically a worst Hunter Shot. What's the Hunter's hero power called? Hunter Shot? Something like that. Anyway, it's a worse Hunter Shot cause it's a 3 damage. Sorry, 3 mana. So yep. Try not to run this card. And she spent the turn doing nothing. Okay, I think she gave up. She might attempt to banish us or something, but I think we got enough damage in. That's fine. As you can see over here, the Ogre Magi as well as the Cobalt Geomancer that she played just now isn't actually a very good stat line. 4 mana minion, you're usually looking at 4/5. So playing a 4/4 with spell damage doesn't really justify it. Plus a 4 mana 4/4, you're gonna play a spell after that, so it's pretty inflexible. So Shift, trying to aggressively hit the Bittertide Hydra, but probably will end up failing. Alright, Abyss. Okay, she lost. So yes, this does look like a spell damage rope. Do not build that deck. Yep, she lost. Oh, what's the what is the win rate so far? So we won, lost, and won. So I think we have one last match. So what makes Warlock so good? One of the other things other than the hero power is that you're able to actually put in a random amalgam of cards. So for example, let's say a warrior deck. If you want to build a good warrior deck, you're looking at for example, a Taunt warrior deck. It's a viable warrior deck. Or let's say Pawn Druid, you're looking at a viable Druid deck. Jade Druid is a viable Druid deck. And you need to put in specific cards for these sort of decks to work. However, for Warlock, one good thing about Warlock is that you can put in a random amalgam of cards, and as long as this amalgam of cards are viable by themselves, you're gonna have an okay sort of deck. Alright, so we're gonna start with the Void Walker over here. Let's just wait for a few turns to see what the mage actually is this time. Maybe it's another secret mage, in which case we want to keep our Essex Swamp Ooze. Alright, Mirror Image. Still can't tell yet. Is this the same guy we met just now? Crazy Mage. I have no idea. But anyway, next turn's probably gonna be tap. The coin? Okay. Arcane Missiles. Alright. Okay, we're gonna... Is it better to tap? I think it's better to play a minion. Secure the board. Don't want the mage to bust out a turn 6 Alunet. Sorcerer's Apprentice. Alright, so our main focus right now should be aiming to kill the Sorcerer's Apprentice. So we're gonna kill this, we're gonna try to kill these mirror images off. Alright, Cinder Storm. Okay, at this point I really doubt that it's a secret mage. I think it's more of a just a beginner mage, maybe. Is Hellfire justified here? Let me think. I don't think so. I think Vulgar Homunculus is the way to go. Oh wait, or maybe perhaps... Yeah, I think Vulgar Homunculus Acidic is pretty good. Yep, let's just do that. I really doubt that the mage has a Aluneth in this case. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that. Next one's probably gonna be the Bitter Tide. 5 mana A is pretty good. Arcane Intellect, alright. Draws herself 2 cards. So as you can see, as a Warlock, you need not run this card in your deck. But as a Mage, you have to. So that's one upside of being a Warlock instead of a Mage. So let's hit the face over here. Try to bash her face in. Next is probably gonna be the Sunwalker. We're gonna have to try and protect our Bitter Tide Hydra. In order to to protect our face. Alright, play an Rotten Apple Bomb. So we're just gonna clear it off. Actually a Rotten Apple Bomb in our own deck may not be that bad as well. Allows us to heal back. Because after playtesting this deck for like, 4 matches so far, this is the 5th match, I realized that Rotten Apple Bomb actually allows us to sustain longer into the late game. So maybe in the future I'll consider a Rotten Apple Bomb. Maybe in place of a Silver Hand Knight or something. But I don't know, Silver Hand Knight is pretty good. Allows us to flood the board. Alright, so she turns it into a sheep, that's fine. And kills it off. Honestly, I would pop this Divine Shield instead of killing it off. But it really depends on the cards she has in her hand. Okay. Over here we're gonna play Yeti. And question is, do we play the Plated Beetle?
Justice shall prevail.
I mean, next turn she can probably Flame Strike the entire board, but we'll be left with a 4-1 as well as a 4-5. So I think even if she Flame Strikes the board, it's not that bad for us. So I think we can play the Plated Beetle.
Only a fool
Tainted Zealot. Okay.
What you want?
Frostwolf Grunt. And Mage Hero Power. Okay, so we're gonna trade this in. Question is, do we have to care about the Tainted Zealot? Wait, do we have lethal? 8, 11, 11, 12, 12, 15. So a bit of lethal. Okay. In this case, I think we'll take care of the Zealot real quick. Because we're gonna end next turn anyways. So it's not gonna make much of a difference for us. And we'll play a Yeti just to be safe. Alright, she does play a Flame Strike. So we won. Yep, we won. 8, 8, and 3. Didn't miss lethal this time. So 60% win rate, pretty good stuff. As a beginner, if you get a 60% win rate, you should be pretty happy with yourself already, since you're not actually playing a legit deck. So yep, that was our custom Warlock. So improvements for this deck, I think we can try out Rotten Apple Bomb, but I honestly don't feel that it will make that much of a difference. Maybe it will allow us to sustain more, but I don't think that it will be so impactful. But anyway, this is the end of the video, guys, and I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, goodbye.